Has positively charged silk molecules, okay, that interlock with your strands, so it's going to leave them stronger. Hey guys, welcome back. I want to say hello to all my subbies. I really appreciate it. And I want to say what's up to all the newbies. So that's everybody perhaps laying eyes on me for the very first time, peeking in, want to see what's going on. Peek no further. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. You came on a very good day. We are going through building our regimen, okay? For those who don't have all the products that they need or they want, we are slowly building our regimen brick by brick, piece by piece. We've gone over shampoos, conditioners. We did leave-ins, and now we are getting to the other side of it, okay? Slowly but surely. And I'm trying to sort of build it in the way that you would use these products. Of course, shampoos would be first, conditioners would be second, yada, 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 yada. And so today we are going to, well, it's going to be two folds, okay? So I already did a video, okay, where I discussed what would be next, which is basically how I do my regimen. I use a leave-in conditioner, and then I use a setting lotion, okay? And then I blow dry, okay? Now, setting lotions, they can be used just for that. They can set your style. Whether you use heat or not, you can use a setting lotion to help basically set your style for that week, okay? Whether you wet set it, you can braid it while wet, you can use it while you are blow drying, and you can use it for air drying. Again, that's just to help seal in moisture and set whatever style you are going to basically put on your hair. I love setting lotions. We've already discussed it, okay? And those who are not familiar, I will try and have the link to the video below. So we're not going to really get into setting lotions. Just an overview. I use the Wrap and Tap setting lotion. It's no longer being made. We named a couple of other good substitutes for setting lotions, including Cara Care setting lotion. But again, I'm going to have the information below as far as that particular video. So we're not going to delve too much into the setting lotions, but that will be the next step, okay, for those who are interested. I basically do shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, setting lotion, and then I blow dry, okay? So imagine us blow drying. Okay, you're done blow drying. Okay, so the next step, we are going to get into, I'm going to call it stylers. Okay, so this is sort of now we're into the mechanical part of the regimen. So I'm going to deal with stylers, and this is going to be twofold, okay? This is going to be twofold because not a lot of people use heat. And I do have some naturals who are watching who like to follow, okay? So with that being said, we're going to get right into it because we got a lot to cover today. I'm going to break it into two folds. I'm going to break it into moisturizers, okay? Because for those who don't use heat, this next step would probably be their last step. You want a good moisturizer basically to hold your hair in check. Make sure that the moisture is there on your strands, whether you're natural or relaxed, okay? And basically keep your hair shiny and soft. So I'm going to break it into moisturizers, and then I'm going to break it into, for those who do use heat, such as myself, okay, I use heat as far as flat ironing my hair. Sometimes I may curl it, so forth and so on, okay? You know, I like a little zhuzh. That's me. I like a little zhuzh. But anyway, for those who do use heat, we're going to break down as far as the styling agents, as far as the heat protectants. And I sort of debated whether I should separate the two, but we're going to do this very seamlessly. And if you have any questions, you know, you can let me know afterwards, okay? But we're going to break it into two. We're going to start with those where this is the last step, okay? And we're going to start with the moisturizers, okay? Now, again, I do want to say the moisturizers that I'm going to name, And it's just going to be a couple, okay? It's just going to be a couple because then we're going to get into the heat protectants. But really, you can use them whether you use heat or not. They're interchangeable. These particular moisturizers, if you do not use heat, you probably lean more towards these and not the heat protectant, obviously, because you wouldn't need it. You don't use heat. But these moisturizers can also be used with heat. So let's get right into it, okay? So as far as the moisturizers are concerned, we're going to get into that now. Now, both of these I have used myself, yes. Although I do not moisturize and seal. Anybody who is familiar, those who are already initiated, know that I do not moisturize and seal my hair. Why don't I M&S? I never had the need to do that, okay? Because whatever products that I used, they were self-sufficient. I didn't really have to really do anything extra. Plus, on top of that, I use heat in my hair. So with the heat protectant as well as the iron that I use, it basically seals my cuticles as is, okay? And it seals in that moisture. So I don't really need to moisturize and seal. Plus, I wrap my hair at night. That keeps the moisture, on my strands as well as, So I got this whole thing going on. I do not M&S, but these made my list because I personally use them or have used them. When do I use them? I use them when I pulled my hair back in a ponytail. I used to slick my hair back in a ponytail and use one of the two of these moisturizers, okay? And then I would just slick it back with just a little bit of heat, like take a little curler, slick it back, boom, I'm done. My hair would be moisturized throughout that week until I went to wash it that next week. So, number one is the Elasta QP Mango Butter. Now, I understand that they also have a leave-in by the same name, but I'm speaking of the Elasta QP Mango Butter Moisturizer. I love it. I love the scent. Of course, you can't go wrong with mango, okay? But I love the scent, and it's like a stiff custard, if you will, when you first look at it. It's pretty thick, but at the same time, it doesn't go on as heavy. I used to put a little bit on my edges, or I would put it on my ends. I would pull my hair back and slick it back. I had no issues with it, and it has a lot of goodies in it. Now, Elasta QP, they are a company, they have a lot of different products, okay, out there on the market, and they're pretty well known. If you've ever gone to a beauty supply store, they're pretty much a staple in a lot of those. It's very enriching, okay? It has olive oil in it, and it definitely protects while you use heat as well. So whether you use heat, whether you don't use heat, the Elasta QP is a great moisturizer. I would say that it's a little heavy to use with a flat iron, in my opinion. I think it would weigh the hair down just a little bit, okay? But it does tout itself as protecting or being a shield against heat. So you can use it with heat, okay? You definitely can. And I have. When I pull my hair back in a ponytail, like I said, I just touch it up with a little heat to make it slick. Like I take a little curler and smooth it back to make it slick and shiny. I've done that with that, and again, no problems. So that's the Elasta QP Olive Oil Mango Butter Moisturizer, okay? So that's number one. And number two is by Paul Mitchell. This one I absolutely love as well. Absolutely love it. It's the Paul Mitchell Foaming Pomade. Foaming pomade. Not just regular pomade. Foaming, honey. It's got some bubbles in it. So anyway, the Paul Mitchell Foaming Pomade. I was introduced to this by someone with natural hair, okay? She had a short TWA, which is a teeny weeny afro, and it was gorgeous. She had colored it or dyed it blonde, and I just remember it always looked pretty and shiny and healthy and this and that. So I think we were talking about something else, and she told me about the foaming pomade. I said, well, I'm going to try this for myself. Now, I'm a relaxed girl, but you can use it whether you're relaxed or natural. On the natural girls who have their little crinkly curlies and their little, waves and zigzags. It's going to add shine, okay? And it's going to help protect anything that you do, or protect your hair during anything that you put on it during the mechanical part, whether it's combing or braiding or styling or whatever. And it gives a magnificent shine. I mean, I cannot overstate the type of shine that it leaves on your hair. It really does its work. And you only need a little bit, okay? It's like it's a little thicker than it's not a liquidy liquid, but you squeeze it on your hand and you sort of rub your hands together and it'll foam up just a little bit, okay? When I say foam, I mean foam. It just gets a little thicker and you can see it just sort of emulsify and get a little thicker. And then and again, you don't need too much. And you just rub it on your hair. You can rub it on your ends, but it's a great moisturizer. I highly recommend the foaming pomade. It's going to protect your ends, it's going to protect your edges, and it's going to give you that shine that you want. Okay? And a little goes a long way. A little goes a very long way. And for all those who are interested, it's not only vegan, okay, but it's also paraben free, okay? And it also, I want to say, it smells a little bit like melons. I think that's in the description of the product, but it has a nice, pleasant scent. So anyone who has an aversion to heavy smells or any type of perfumey, like heavy type of scents, this one I would not say is heavy. Everybody is different, okay, as far as their tastes, as far as smells. But in my opinion, it's a light smell. It does have a smell to it, or a scent, but it's pretty light. I would liken it or agree that it smells a little bit like melons. So the pomade, it has a lot of natural extracts in it that's really going to help smooth and polish your hair, okay? So it's like a hair polisher, okay? It's a pomade, but I'm gonna call it a polisher as well, okay? So it's gonna give it that extra shine and softness, okay? Again, this can be used with heat as well, but again, I personally would not do it as far as flat ironing, only because I feel, you know how I am. You know how I am as far as my hair, and I just like lightness, and I'm just very particular. I'm very particular and careful about oils. So the pomade is great for naturals and relaxed, heat or no heat, okay? And it's a great finisher as well. If you're already done your style and you want a little zhuzh, a little shiny zhuzh at the end, you can rub a little bit on your hand, rub it through your hair, and you're going to get that shine and that polished look that you're looking for, okay, that you really want. So those two I can testify to. Those two I can really rah-rah, sis boom ba for, okay? These two moisturizers, they do their work. Elasta QP and Paul Mitchell, they are on the case, honey. And these two products are A+, in my opinion, okay? Again, you may want to get pen and paper, okay, because we're going to go down the list and we're going to keep this moving. But the first, well, there are quite a few on this list that I've actually tried, okay, and I can testify to. I can totally testify to, okay? Now, the first one that I'm going to mention, you guys who are familiar, again, those who are already in the fold, we already know what I'm about to mention probably already, maybe. Yeah, pretty much. So number one, in no particular order, but this one is also by Paul Mitchell, and this is their Skinny Serum. I love this serum. Like I said before, Paul Mitchell and I, we are going steady, honey. We will never break up as far as this serum is concerned. Never. And a lot of their other products. But this one hits a home run for me every time. Not only is it moisturizing, but it's not too heavy, okay? It is a very nice serum to flat iron with. So if you're looking for a serum to flat iron with, that's going to give you shine, it's going to give you bounce, it's not going to leave your hair heavy or weighed down, it's not going to have it look oily at all, okay? Depending on how much you use it, but we already know that with everything you're supposed to you gauge, okay? Just use your own judgment, but you don't need a lot. It's a serum. Serums have silicones in them, and silicones go a long, long way. You don't need a whole bunch to get the shine that you want out of a silicone, okay? So with that being said, the skinny serum, like I said, it hits on all avenues for me. So not only is it great to flat iron with, but I also use it as a finisher. Okay, when I'm done styling and I'm ready to put that cherry on the top, that is one of the cherries that I top my hair with, okay, so to speak. So anyway, it's a great serum. It's a great serum. If you haven't tried it, they do have samples of it, little ones or baby ones or travel ones. I believe they sell them at Ulta, but Paul Mitchell Skinny Serum. Get you some, okay? If you're into serums, if you're looking for something that's going to protect your hair against the heat, I've never had an issue. Never had an issue using this. It is great, okay? So that's number one. And number two, this is by Theorie. Okay, I know you guys already know. Bear with me. I know you already know. I got my pom-poms out. I am cheering. I am doing splits, honey. I am a cheerleader for this product as well. Rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. I'm talking about Theorie's heat protectant. It's called Theorie Heat Shield Thermal Spray. I love this stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, when you hear spray, sometimes you think it's going to be drying, okay? Just by default, because it's spray, you know, it's a spray. You sort of associate that with drying or some type of alcohol-laden product. But this one, none of that. What I do is I spray it on my hand first, and then I disperse it throughout my hair. That's how I gain control of, how much is being dispersed and where it's going, so forth and so on. That's just me. But anyway, you can immediately feel the softness, okay? Now this heat spray does its job. It protects your hair against heat. You know that I use my flat iron. I don't go any higher than 360, okay? Being that I'm relaxed, 360 for me is high enough, okay? I know that naturals, if ever you flat iron your hair or use heat, I know you guys can go much higher because you don't have a chemical in your hair. We know that when you use chemicals, you have to dial back a couple of, you have to dial back sometimes when it comes to heat. So I use 360, and honey, it totally protects my hair. I haven't had any breakage. I haven't had any brittleness. I haven't had any type of split ends with regard to using the spray, okay? And it does its job, and it has a light scent, and it is just fantastic. Now, this particular spray, it says that it protects up to 450 degrees, okay? So for all those girls who are muy caliente, you can use this, okay? You can use this as a heat protectant, and it will protect all the way up to, I believe that's the highest you can go on most irons, okay? Most irons that have heat control, I believe the highest is 450. So it goes up to the highest degree as far as protection. It leaves shine, and it leaves hold. When I flat iron my hair and I'd like to do a little bend to it, okay? I like to bump it, if you will. It holds that, okay? It's not gonna go, meh. I don't have to cross my fingers and hope that the curls stay. It boasts that it will hold, shine, okay, and keep frizz at bay for a full 24 hours. So it's gonna help protect your hair from the heat, keep that moisture in, impart shine, and be a fence around your hair as far as humidity. And I just love the way it leaves my hair. It leaves it nice and light and bouncy. You know how I like it. So that's definitely one on the list, the heat shield, okay? It is a shield. So there is no theory on Theorie. It's actually a fact. It does what it says it's going to do, okay? And I can testify to that. So Theorie, that is my zhuzh, and that's number two. Okay, so this next product, this one is also a spray. This one I can also attest to. This one is very good, and I'm sure you're familiar with this company. It's the Chi. More specifically, it's called the Chi 44 Iron Guard thermal spray. If you want something that has great memory, okay, as far as styling memory, this may be for you, okay? So not only does it protect your hair from heat inside out, but it's also going to hold that shape, hold that style. It's like a heat protectant and hairspray in one, okay? Because it really does hold. I can attest to that. And a lot of stylists use it because of that as well. It is based on ionic technology, okay? So that's the negative ions. It's built on making sure that the outer layer of your hair lays down through ionic technology, which is going to produce more shine to your hair. And yeah, I can totally attest to it. It's a great product. I still have my travel size bottle. And again, with this one, you can get a little sampler, okay? You can get, I believe they sell them at Ulta, but you can get a little travel size if you just want to try it out and not commit to an entire bottle of it. It's a great product. Again, a lot of stylists use it. I can see why. It holds your style. It protects against heat. It goes all the way up to 450 degree protection, okay? And it's very versatile. Curling, flat ironing, whatever heat tool you want to throw at your hair is going to guard it against any damage, okay? So you may want to check this one out too. Chi may be for you. Okay, so we're rolling along. Rolling. This next one is by Cara Care, okay? Now, I know Cara Care keeps popping up, but there's a reason. They have lots of products, okay? Lots of goodies. And this one is another one of their goodies, one of their star players. This is their Cara Care Silken Seal Liquid Sheen. Okay, not to be confused with their Silken Seal Serum, okay, which I've also tried, and it's a little thick for me. It's really, really thick for me. But back to the liquid. I use this as a heat protectant, and I loved it, okay, I loved it. It is going to be a little oilier, I will say that. At least that's how I found it, okay, once I moved to the serum. And I said, oh, okay, so the Silken Seals are just a little bit oilier, but I wouldn't say heavy. It comes in a spray bottle. And so you would spray it on your hair or on your hand, like I do, and then disperse it throughout your hair. You can use it as a finishing agent, okay, because it's supposed to be like a glosser, like a finishing agent. Or you can use it with heat, which is how I chose to use it. And it gave me shine, lots of shine. And it wasn't heavy. Like I said, I just think it just left it looking just a little bit oilier as I went throughout the week. You know what I mean? But it's a great product. It's light. And with that being said, a little goes a long way. It really does. And it can be found wherever you find Cara Care products, which would be online as well as Ulta. And I believe even Sally Beauty carries it, okay? Again, this can be used as a finishing agent or as a heat protectant, and it also has sunscreen in it. So it is going to protect your hair from UV rays and all that. So it's going to preserve the color in your hair as well and protect it from any sun damage. So if you're looking for a heat protectant, okay, you may want to check this one out. Okay, so rounding out this list, this one is going to get an honorable mention as far as a heat protectant, because even though I have not used this one, okay, so I've used all the ones prior, but this one I have not used. However, a lot of people like it, okay, and it's readily available. It's a drugstore product, okay, and like I said, I hear a lot of people talking about it, so it's going to get an honorable mention. This one's by Tresemme, and it's called the Tresemme Thermal Creations Heat Tamer, okay? Thermal Creations Heat Tamer. Again, I have not used it, but a lot of people like it. They seem to trust it. They trust their locks with it. So with that being said, it made it on the list, okay? Because a lot of you guys seem to like it. So with that being said, it's readily available. You can find it at Target. You can find it at just about any drugstore. But let's get into all the ingredients and why people like it. So not only does it have vitamin C, okay, in its formula, as well as other vitamins, it's also touted as aluminum-free, dye-free, and paraben-free. Okay, so for all those who are a little nervous about parabens and this and that, this one does not have any parabens, okay? And it boasts that it'll hold your style as well as keep that moisture in your strands while you are heat styling, whether you're blow drying with heat or whether you're flat ironing with heat. It says that it will protect your strands all the way up to 450 degrees. Okay, that's pretty high, but it'll protect all the way up to 450. Okay, but 450. Okay, so it says it has great hold for your hair as well. They have a lot of shampoos and conditioners in their lines, okay? And this one is their heat protectant spray, okay? And again, I've seen a lot of girls use it. I have heard some people talk about it, but there seems to be quite a loyalty to it, okay? People who have used it, they do like it. So I wanted to put that out there as an honorable mention. And again, you can be found just about anywhere, including drugstores and Target, okay? So if you're looking for something that's not too on the high end, okay, maybe something that's a little more, dollar friendly, then you may want to check this one out. Okay, guys, so I wanted to go over these products, okay? And again, I'm trying to go in order in how I would or you would be applying these particular products. And like I said, I know for some of us who don't use heat, the buck is going to stop right here. Okay, they're going to end with moisturizers and that's it. They ain't going to touch no heat. I don't deal with heat. I like the air dryer. I like the whatever your preference. So I wanted to get that in as far as moisturizers that are really moisturizing, but not too heavy. I would call them mid-weight. Okay, so the Elasta QP as well as the Paul Mitchell, I would consider them mid-weight. And for all those girls who are caliente, we get into the heat, whether we curl or flat iron or even blow dry with heat, I wanted to touch on the heat protectants, okay? Because they're very important. I would never use a heating tool without a protectant on my hair. You don't want to do that, okay? And you need a good protectant. You want something that's not going to weigh your hair down and preferably as well keep your style and add moisture or at least lock in the moisture that you've gained throughout the foundation part of your regimen. At no part in this journey or in this process do you want to lose moisture. Like I said, I sort of debated whether I should combine them, but yeah, I'm glad that I did because I wanted to make sure that I touched on for those who don't use heat and for those who do. This will be the next step in this whole process. So that wasn't too bad, right? We were in and out, kinda. We had quite a few things on the list, but I wanted to be sure that I brought these things to you. So I'm hoping that you didn't mind me indulging a little bit. And I'm hoping that you were able to gather some things from it and add to your list if you are building a list. And yeah, so I appreciate you dialing in and showing up. I really do appreciate it. I really do. And yeah, we'll be back talking about some more stuff. We're going to add some more things and we're turning the corner on some things and I want to share some more things with you. So you gotta come back for that. So you already know. It's going to be the same Dolce dial. It's going to be the same Dolce channel. So you come on back.